Good evening. Let us chant from the Gita, that is Guru Gita, they say, that the wonderful sloka that begins, in the beginning itself, the Master Mahashaya has given that sloka in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Tavu kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravanamangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhuridajana. Master Mahashaya, Sri Ma, he is now giving the description of the Tuesday, December 18, 1883. I am reading from 348 page of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now here Master Mahashaya is telling that Sri Ramakrishna was seated in his room with his devotees, and he spoke highly of Devendranath Tagore's love of God and renunciation. Devendranath Tagore is a father of Sri Rabindranath, and he was, at the fag end of his life, though he was a very rich man, and he was in a very high position in the society too, but he left all those things and he was practicing austerity, mostly living on the Ganges itself, on a boat, a big boat, houseboat, and he used to live over there. Sri Ramakrishna went to meet him. Now, how a man who was so rich, still having all those properties, but he is practicing the spirituality, Sri Ramakrishna appreciated highly and went and met. And now he is talking about him, pointing to the younger devotees. He said, Devendra is a good man, but blessed indeed are those young aspirants who, like Shukadeva, practice renunciation from their very boyhood and think of God day and night without being involved in worldly life. So there are completely two different ideologies, two different pictures. There are moral people, good people in the society, but spiritual people, they are completely different. Very young age, they do not feel attraction for the worldly life. Sri Ramakrishna is talking about them, comparing with this. They accomplished everything in this worldly life, and then afterwards they think, no, it is nothing. So they think they will practice spirituality. They try to practice the spirituality. Devendranath Tagore was highly respected, but he was of that type. Sri Ramakrishna is very clear about it. So he is giving this clear idea, picture, that these two type of people, the worldly man always has some desire or other, though at times he shows much devotion to God. Once Mathur Babu was entangled in a lawsuit. He said to me in the shrine of Kali, Sir, please offer this flower to the Divine Mother. I offered it, and he firmly believed that he would attain his objective if I offer the flower. The faith of Mathur Babu, that he is appreciating, but the faith only to achieve something for the worldly life. So he is not criticizing, but he is drawing a picture. The people who are genuinely desirous to realize God, They will never do like this. And again, he is giving another example. What devotion Roti's mother had, how often she would used to come here, and how much she served me. She was a Vaishnava. One day she noticed that I ate the food offered at the Kali temple, and that stopped her coming. Her devotion to God was one-sided. It is not possible to understand a person right away. The uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna is this. He is not criticizing, but he wants us to be complete, so that we can go to God. The path that we are following is all right, but at the same time, if somebody else is following some other path, that's also all right. So that type of mental broadness, openness, that is necessary to become Sri Ramakrishna's follower. Sometimes the people come over here, I always tell them, you know the ideology of Sri Ramakrishna? Ideology of Sri Ramakrishna is love. All-embracing love. He is not leaving anyone. But he appreciates that psychology, that mentality, which now we say parliament of religion. All religions are coming together, discussing, and as if we will exchange notes, and then we will make a new religion, or we'll live together. But this is not the thing. Thing is the conviction, realization. All paths are leading to the same goal, and that is God, and God is love. I am thinking my path is the best. But okay, in the modern society, I am not supposed to criticize you. You too have the liberty to follow. Go on. But I don't appreciate that. Not like this. I have the appreciation, but I love this path. This lady about whom Sri Ramakrishna was talking, she was having the idea only the Vaishnava path is the best. And majority of the people, unfortunately, they become that narrow-minded. My path is the only one. And if somebody else is doing something else, oh my God, this is not the correct. So this, what Sri Ramakrishna said, it was a winter morning, and the master was sitting near the east door of his room, wrapped in his moleskin shawl. He looked at the sun and suddenly went into samadhi. We are discussing about Sri Ramakrishna. Can you imagine a personality whom many other people were observing? Not that somebody in a remote past he noted and that has developed so many ways. No. He was just a historical personality. Many people saw him, many people, they were not the devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. They also observed. And this speciality of Sri Ramakrishna, they noted. One doctor was there who used to come and examine the Sri Ramakrishna when he used to go into samadhi. Is it true samadhi or not? He used to go and check like that. He used to put his finger on the eyeball. Can you imagine? And the master, he was talking like this. Suddenly, he looked at the sun and he went into samadhi. How they could understand that it's a samadhi? Sri Ramakrishna, his eyes stopped blinking and he lost all consciousness of the outside world. Master Mahashaya and others who were there, they noticed it. He's not blinking, he's looking at the sun, and there is no consciousness as if in the body. After a long time, he came down to the plane of the saints' world. Rakhal, Hajara, Aim means Master Mahashaya, and other devotees were seated near him. The Hajra, he was a critic. Constantly he used to criticize Sri Ramakrishna, any opportunity. And he was also there. He also observed. He also accepted. So that is why the names the Master Mahasaya is mentioning, that this state of samadhi is certainly inspired by love. Sri Ramakrishna is giving a completely new view, new ideology, new ideas. The moment we talk about the samadhi, we know that is the word that has come from the Yoga Darshan, Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Those who are meditating, withdrawing the senses from the sense objects, and from there they go to samadhi. And there are two different types of samadhi. One is saguna and nirguna. One is holding something, another is beyond that. So this type of samadhi, here the Sri Ramakrishna says, through love also it is possible. Why? Because the object is to reach the mind, concentrated mind, withdrawn mind to God. And now here, just because of the love, one mind is getting concentrated and going to the God and forgetting, completely losing all connections with the external world, all the objects of the world. Mind and all the senses are withdrawn. Is it not samadhi? That is also possible. So Sri Ramakrishna introducing completely a new thing. Don't think only by sitting in one place and practicing yoga, one can get the samadhi. Through love also one can get the samadhi. Your goal is to get the samadhi, and samadhi means cessation of all the existence of God in any form, the world. Cessation of the existence of the world in any form. And that is called samadhi. And what remains there? Maybe the form of God, maybe without form, the consciousness only. So the mind is merging with one, and that is called samadhi. The state of samadhi is certainly inspired by love. Then he is telling his own experience. One, at Shambajar, they arranged a kirtan at Nattobar Goswami's house. Shambajar is a place. And Nattobar Goswami, in those days, he was a very famous man. And the kirtan, you know that in our society, the kirtan in different, in American society also nowadays, they do the kirtan. 1 or 2 lines, they'll be going on chanting. So the new way of kirtan is introduced here. There I had a vision of Krishna and the gopis of Vrindavan. When the kirtan was going on, the Sri Ramakrishna, in the kirtan particularly, mainly based on the life of Sri Krishna. So the Krishna and the gopis, they will be explaining through the song, through the music, all the activities of the Sri Krishna with the gopis in Vrindavan. And there he visualized, he saw that that is the experience, Krishna and the gopis. I felt that my subtle body was walking with the Krishna. She was completely merged with that. So when we think of that, and there is no trace of worldliness, no trace of senses, is it not samadhi? But there is also that samadhi may be in the form of Sri Krishna. And he was thinking in that condition completely in great joy, and hours together he used to enjoy like that. After the master had finished his bath, he again spoke of the ecstatic love of the gopis. Majority of the people, when they will be reading about the gopis, they think about the worldly attachment and associations, like a male and a female. It is not like that. It's completely love, love for God. And that God, love makes you forget even your own body. So that is the love of the gopis. When the young Narendranath came, he never liked that. In those days, the people used to think that only the low-caste people, illiterate people, poor people, they only become Vaishnava. They do not understand anything of the Shastras. They only jump and cry and sing the Krishna, Krishna. So like that. Once Sri Ramakrishna was pointing to a picture where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going and many other, in the picture itself, so many other people, they are also dancing. And he showed it to a devotee, Calcutta gentleman. You see how people, they forget everything in the name of, holy name of God. They are singing and dancing. That man told roughly, "Sir, I know these people. They're all low-caste people, illiterate, they don't know anything. That's why they have become this, Vaishnava." So we can understand the very bad idea about the Vaishnavas. There was no acceptance about that, but Sri Ramakrishna re-establishing this. Apparently he was the worshipper of goddess Kali. And just now he mentioned about a lady who was a Vaishnava, and she stopped visiting Sri Ramakrishna when she noticed that Sri Ramakrishna is taking the consecrated food, the prasad of goddess Kali. And immediately she stopped coming or visiting or talking or respecting to Sri Ramakrishna. So narrow mind. And that Sri Ramakrishna, in the other way, trying to establish the Vaishnava religion. He told that young Narendra, who was denouncing, he told, "No, if you don't believe in those things, okay. But at least look at this, even if it is a story. But look, the attachment to God, the gopis and the main of them, Radha, the tremendous attachment and love for God. They are forgetting everything, never caring for the society also. And they are going and listening to the song, and they become in great joy in the company of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was an 8 years old boy at that time. So they used to love him so much. So Sri Ramakrishna used to say, and he said, "You must sing the devotional song." He was singing one, and he said, "You must sing the devotional song to have that emotion, have that devotion." Sri Ramakrishna had vowed to offer green coconut and sugar to Siddheshwari, the Divine Mother. Siddheshwari Kali is another name is Thantane Kali Badi. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was nearby. There is just near to Swami Vivekananda's parental house. If you visit Calcutta, you can see that place also. A small temple, Kali temple. And Sri Ramakrishna, see, just like a very, very ordinary person, he is going and praying to Mother and said, "If you make him all right, then I will offer you green coconut and sugar." Usually, inside the coconut water, they will put little sugar. Otherwise, some gas or some problem comes from the coconut water, so they mix the sugar. It becomes tasty also. So he promised to that mother for our Rakhal Maharaj. He was the young boy who used to stay with Sri Ramakrishna. He was not keeping good health. Sri Ramakrishna, just like the anxious father, he prayed to that Kali, not to Dakshineshwar Kali, Siddheshwar Kali. Why? You get the immediate action. Siddhya. Siddha means the success. So Siddheshwari Kali. And you have to purchase the flowers, sweets, and also the green coconut, sugar. You need money. Then he told Aim, he asked Aim whether he would pay for the offerings. Look at the blessed man, this Master Mahashaya. Sri Ramakrishna the God himself, is almost begging, taking from him. And when that another businessman came to give 10,000 rupees, in those days, Sri Ramakrishna chased him out, go out from here. So sometimes we really wonder, some people, they are rich, but how come they don't like to give to Sri Ramakrishna? Because Sri Ramakrishna himself doesn't care to take it. They don't like to. Sri Ramakrishna, when he wants that I must take from him, that means he has chosen him as his own. Otherwise, he won't take. To give money, even to give anything to God, that also needs some holy actions in the past life. You have done something good, then only God. And the Master Mahashaya, Sri Ramakrishna many times he said, and this time he is telling, Master Mahashaya didn't mention that yes or no. Why? Yes, yes, I will purchase that for you. That shows that I am proud, I am paying those things. No, he recorded everything, but omitted that particular portion. When Sri Ramakrishna is telling, he asked him means the Master Mahashaya, whether he would pay for the offerings. There he stopped. But the next para, he begins, that afternoon, the Master, accompanied by him and Rakhal and some other devotees, set out in a carriage for the temple of Siddheshwari in Calcutta. On the way, the offerings were purchased. How Master Mahashaya, without disclosing who paid, who purchased, it was purchased. This is the humble way that one should give. When you are giving to God, you are humble and happy that God has chosen you to give something. On reaching the temple, the Master asked the devotees to offer the fruit and sugar to the Divine Mother. He himself, he actually promised to the Mother, but now he is asking the devotee to give it to him, the Mother. Why? Look at it. The man who goes into Samadhi just by looking at the sun, the moment he sees the sun, the light, immediately goes into Samadhi. That man, full of knowledge and the yoga, he comes into the level of an ordinary devotee, and he now begging the Mother for something, that is, please help my child. The Rakhal was his son, is a mind-born son. He prayed for that, and the Rakhal came at the age of 16. He came to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna accepted him as his son. He used to take a lot of care. And this, now when he reaches over there, he asks other devotees to do it, so that they will get the blessings of the Mother. So that is the way Sri Ramakrishna is to do. And then they saw the priest and their friends playing cards in the temple. Sri Ramakrishna said, to play cards in a temple, one should think of God here. Inside the temple, one always should think of God and nothing else. We read in the life of Jesus Christ, he chased the priest, shouting, don't make my Father's house a business place. He went to a synagogue and he saw the synagogue, the priest, they were selling different things, they were talking about, as we always see, even in our temples also, some of the people who have taken the profession of worship. So they earn money, and to earn more money, they always say, if you do this, it will be good, if you do that, it will be good, and they are selling and they'll be giving some water or sometimes the flour, and put flour over here and they chant something, and then they will give you some paste or some fruit. Like this, it is a business, no devotion. And that's why Sri Ramakrishna was not happy and Jesus was angry. And he chased those priests with a stick in hand and he said, don't make my Father's house a business place. So that mainly say that when you come to the temple, your relation is only with the God and nothing else. From the temple master went to the Jadu Mallik's house, a very rich man, Jadu Mallik. In those days, these are the people, even up to 1960, the Bengali communities, they are having a very rich community. And both the things they were having, the worldly richness and at the same time culture. And both things produced very good spiritual personalities also. But this Jadu Mallik, they were the jamindars, they were big businessmen, they were having many things. So always they used to have some people to talk all around. They used to bring some information about the market, what is going on, like this, as the business community they always do. The Jadu Mallik was having, but he had a great devotion for Sri Ramakrishna. He used to like him and love him. Sri Ramakrishna also used to go to him. And Sri Ramakrishna went over there. Jadu Mallik was surrounded by his admirers. He welcomed the master with a smile. Sri Ramakrishna was an ordinary priest in the Kali temple. Jadu Mallik, he was a very rich landlord. And look at it, the relation. Sri Ramakrishna is going, and with a smile he said, "Why do you keep so many clowns and flatterers with you?" He's asking the rich man. These rich people, they always like to have some people around them to always say, "Oh, whatever you said, whatever you have done," they will go on telling like that. Sri Ramakrishna simple said like that, and Jadu Mallik, the relation really we appreciate. Immediately he replied, "That you may liberate them. I keep these people so that you can liberate them." And then all started laughing. Master, he commented, flatterers think that the rich man will loosen his purse strings for them, but it is very difficult to get anything from him. That's true. We always have that experience. When you go for donation, but in this country it is not like that, but in India, everything depends on the donation. So we used to go to the ministers, we used to go to the government officers or the rich men. It's like this. Very, very difficult to get. And sometimes it used to go like this. One lady, she was very rich, but in an accident she lost almost, I told this story before, she lost her from in-laws side, everyone including her husband, and the parental side, her father's side also, except her ailing father. Everyone died in a car accident. They went somewhere. This lady and her father, they were only surviving. I don't know why. I never knew her. I never saw her, met her. But she came all the way from Calcutta to Andaman, Port Blair, to meet me. And she told, I was supposed to come with an appointment, but I don't know. My mind is in this condition. Everybody has left me. What should I do? I told, why to me? You don't know me. And no, whatever he will say, I will follow. Anyway, afterwards, I told her, you better do in this way. As because the business is in your blood, don't leave it. But learn English, otherwise you won't be able to attend the meetings with the big business house. So naturally you have to have the different meetings with different people. If you always take the help of your managers, they will take all other things also sometimes without your knowledge. That may create problem. You learn it. 6 months, 1 year you will learn. And then whatever you are earning, that you distribute among your staff. They are now your family. She was having nearly 4 or 5 tea gardens, 2 steel factory, and like that. I don't know, so many are there. All will be your family. So you better do that. And she was very happy. She was, okay, I will follow like that. I told, you will get the peace, because that is the way Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda teaches. And she used to give me some money, almost like 5 lakhs she donated in different phases. Then one day, whenever I used to come to Calcutta, she used to send her car. She used to give the car for my use. She used to take to her house, like that. So after this 2-3, then suddenly she told, please come to my office. And she sent the car. I went to her office. She met me. After some time I had to wait. And then she told, I should say something to you, please don't mind. And my Guruji, and you had a Guruji? You never said that? Yeah, in Vrindavan, in our family tradition, so I never knew. Afterwards I came to know about him, so I visited him, our family Guru, in the Vrindavan. When I met him, I told about you, I told how you have asked me to do. He said, never give money to Ramakrishna Mission. And now Guruji has ordered, so what to do? I don't know, you have to follow Guruji, but don't ask the money that you have already given to me. I cannot give it back to you right now. So that is the first thing. And secondly, he was telling, Guruji said, you need not to help the other people. If they suffer, it is because of their karma phala. Don't pay them extra. So what kind of Guruji I wanted to see, but I had never had the luck to go. So he said, don't help them. You have to rule with another strong hand. She told, from now onwards, I am not giving any money to the extra money to these workers and all that. So love is the very first thing. If you don't have the love, then it is very, very impossible. And when that love comes, when your idea is very clear, there is only one God, and that God cannot be two. But when a small baby is looking at the father, he looks in a different way. When a young son, he is looking at the father, he looks at the father in a different way. There's the completely two sons. But one, the little one, he looks at his father in a different way, and the grown-up son, he looks at the father in a different way, but it is only the same father. Similarly, when we understand many things of the philosophy and metaphysical thing, we look at God in a different way. But that is the same God. And some people, just like the small baby, like the kid, they are grown-up people, but metaphysically or philosophically or spiritual knowledge, they are very low. So look at the same father in a different way. I would go, I would ask, I will get the father to give me or protect me this way. They go in that way. There's nothing wrong. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. But for the spiritual purpose, one should be always, every time, for the high spiritual value, you must have to have that type of practices. Sri Ramakrishna is telling in a very clear way, if you try to go and flatter the rich people, thinking that they will help you, it is unnecessary. It won't. Then the next day, the 19th December, that was the Wednesday, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to him near the bel tree at Dakshineshwar. So now that bel tree, that area, it was completely segregated. Only very courageous people could go and sit over there for meditation, because snakes were there and all around so much of thickness of the trees, even no sound is to come. So there Sri Ramakrishna practiced under the bel tree, he practiced tapasya, and the master, this aim, the teacher, he also went and sat, and Sri Ramakrishna came over there, met him, and he was talking with him. The master has given them description of the tree. Then afterwards, the Sri Ramakrishna is talking to him. One cannot realize God without renouncing lust and gold. It's very clear. One cannot realize God without renouncing lust and gold. We can reach near, we can have some clear idea of God, we can have some visions also, we can develop some miraculous power too. But the realization of God is completely different, which has been said in a wonderful way, Jahan Kaam Tahan Nahi Ram. They said Kaam means desire, Rama means God. If you have the worldly desire, you can never expect to get the realization of God. They're completely two different, light and the darkness. You cannot have both together. So that they say, one cannot have the joy of the worldly things along with the realization of God. And sometimes some people, they talk about, why not you practice like that? So many devotees are coming over there. Here is very few. I should see, whoever will come, they will come. But we cannot follow whatever they are doing. That is good for them. Let them do. But we have been trained in a completely different way. Our visions are different. We think this is all right for us. Very sincere people for the real spiritual thing, they will come over here. So there is no problem. The Master Mahasaya is asking, why did not Vashishta say to Rama? Now he is arguing, quoting from the Ramayana. The Vashishta told to Rama, what? O Rama, you may renounce the world if the world is outside God. The Rama was thinking to renounce, so Vashishta, Sri Ramakrishna himself mentioned about it. The Vashishta's argument was, world is with God, God has created this world, why don't you stay in the world and realize God? So that was the argument. Sri Ramakrishna is smiling and he is telling, he said that to Rama so that Rama might destroy Ravana. Rama accepted the life of a householder and married to fulfill that mission. It was the divine play, divine mission. So that is the reason he said like that. But in the Bhagavad Gita, again and again we say, Kshetra, Kshetragya. These are the completely two different things. Kshetra, these worldly things that God has created. Nothing that God, without God, it is. But that is not God. God is completely different. God has created that out of His own. But at the same time, it is not He. God is different. So similarly, Kshetra, the field, all the objects of the world, and Kshetragya, the knower of that, is the God. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna, he took those two terminology, Kshetra and Kshetragya, are completely different. When the Sri Ramakrishna told that the Master Mahasaya, he was having the great aspiration for God realization, and he was thinking, I can realize God living in this worldly life, why not? But when Sri Ramakrishna mentioned like that, the Rama, that was the instruction of his Guru Vashishta, because he was having a purpose, a mission. Now, Master Mahasaya, he is mentioning about himself, Aim stood there like a log, stunned and speechless. The tremendous desire to realize God, that was in his mind. So we can understand how much desire, how much strong desire was there to realize God. And the moment Sri Ramakrishna said like that, he was thinking, then what will happen to me? And we will find how Sri Ramakrishna slowly guiding him. Sir, is there no spiritual discipline leading to realization of the impersonal God? That is what I gave as a subject of today's discussion. Can one realize impersonal God? That means the God from the viewpoint of knowledge. Personal, impersonal. The personal God, all these pictures are there, images are there, so many varieties of the teachings are there, options are there, but for the knowledge impersonal, nothing is there except you. So obviously, is it possible? He is asking. As because he was very strongly trying to understand this from the beginning, from the first day, when Sri Ramakrishna asked him, what is your opinion? God with form or without form? He said, I think God without form. How can this big God can be in form? That was the first time. Sri Ramakrishna. Now again, he is not leaving that. Any opportunity, he is telling, sir, is there no spiritual discipline leading to realization of the impersonal God? Then the Sri Ramakrishna is saying, yes, there is. But the path is extremely difficult. After intense austerities, the rishis of the old realized God as their innermost consciousness and experienced the real nature of Brahman. It's very, very difficult. Some people will be talking about the impersonal God, the Vedanta, that is the Brahman, the consciousness, the wonderful way they can explain the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. But if you go and talk to them, they'll be criticizing others. They are very careful about how others are doing and what I am doing, the comparison. And that means they always want to get the appreciation from the world. When you are talking this world is nothing, when you are teaching that this world is nothing but temporary completely, how come after the talk you think in this way? That means you are only just intellectually expressing a view and you are getting the appreciation of the people who are understanding that in that way. But in genuine practice, it is not there. So the moment we feel jealous, the moment we criticize others, the moment we think that, see, he is getting this and that, the philosophers, there's only you are teaching, but you are not practicing. The practice is completely different, and that is why it says in the Panchadashi, a famous book, it says that Kamyadi dosha drishtadhyaha. Kamyadi, any desire, dosha drishti. You have to, one should find defects in the worldly objects. Kamyadi dosha drishtadhya, kamadi tyaga hetavaha. Then after that, after observing that, you have to have the tyaga. Prasiddhya moksha shastreshu. And moksha shastra, moksha is the scripture about the liberation, mukti. They teach us like that. You have to give up and you have to find defects in that. We have seen in the Sri Ramakrishna, he is in many times not only practicing that, at the same time he is telling also. In a hubble bubble in those days, it was the practice almost all over the Asia. And naturally in Calcutta, the rich people, they used to have the hubble. Poor people, they used to have the hubble bubble in a poor way. But the rich people's hubble bubble made of either gold or silver, and they will be drinking in such a way, half lying down. And Sri Ramakrishna observed it because he used to get the support from a rich man, Mathur Babu. Then he told Mathur, I also like to do like that. I want to experience how good it is. Mathur Babu immediately arranged that. It was nothing for him. So he went and he lied down in the right side and he was smoking, then the left side smoking, on the back, on the belly. Then afterwards you threw that and they said, mind, this is hubble bubble, smoking. The rich man, they do, and from apparently when you see, it seems it's so good, but actually it is not. Now the rich man, he cannot mix with people. In a huge car he is going, and the driver that is also covered, he cannot see, and either he is reading or he is on the phone. You don't have any people to talk to. Then he goes to his room, and maybe a chosen one or two will come, then like that. But the ordinary people, they have so many friends, and they'll be going this way, that way, whatever they like they can do. But so the totally segregated person, we think from distance, oh yes, such a happy person. When you go here, if you have purchased the first class and something like that, then you need not to go in a line. You can straight go, very few people. But those in the other ordinary classes, economic class, there will be grade 1, grade B, C, D. So when your number will come, that time you will only go, you have to find a place to keep your bag. And when we cross, we see the first class people are sitting, oh, they are so comfortable. Are they? They are not. This time I got, because for some reason, I got the first class ticket. When I was coming, I found by my side one lady was sitting all alone. I told you came to this place all alone? Who will come? I am all alone. But I was living in a very good hotel. They took care of me. But she is all alone. She wanted to talk. And she was going on talking with me. I felt sleepy. In the first class, I should have a nice sleep. But the problem is, my co-passenger, she wants to talk, because there is no other thing to do for her. So this way, when you find, apparently it seems that they are happy. Many of them are happy, no doubt, but this worldly object cannot give you complete happiness, permanent happiness. That is impossible. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. And he's telling, yes, there is, but the path is extremely difficult. After intense austerity of the rishis, he is giving that instances of the olden times realize God as their innermost consciousness and experience the real nature of Brahman. But an aspirant cannot succeed in this form of spiritual discipline if his mind is stained with the worldliness, even in the slightest degree. And what is worldliness? Selfishness. The moment you have a little bit of selfishness, even in the competition also, I must realize God fast, that is also selfishness. Swamiji's words are revolutionary. They're the wonderful words. He said, easiest way to realize God is to help others to do that. Can you imagine? You are helping others to realize God while you are busy serving them. Easiest way to realize God, to help others to do that. That is called completely free from ego, and when there is no ego, then there is no selfishness, and when there is no selfishness, no desire of the world, and when there is no desire of the world, your mind is completely pure. And that is why I quote again and again, the Jesus said, blessed are those who are pure in heart. Why? Because they will see God, for they shall see God. So what is this purity? Sri Ramakrishna said, slightest degree should not be there. The mind must withdraw totally from all objects of form, taste, smell, touch, and sound. Look at it. So when some people are doing something, and then people are coming and praising him, in Hindi they say, "Pahunche hue Mahatma," then you are gone. So recently I met one gentleman, then he told, after coming down from the Samadhi, I have come over here. Look at it. Why he has to mention that Samadhi? So that the people are impressed. And some of the ladies, our mothers are always emotional, though they are in America, they are educated ladies. but constantly going on throwing flowers, flower petals at her feet, wherever he is walking. And they also tried to do it to me. No, not to me, whatever you do with him. He never said you need not to do that, because all the way in a very clean and tidy place. Of course they have paid, they have hired that, but we are becoming making it dirty. He is not thinking, they are also not thinking, this is going on like that. And every time he is coming, he is putting that flower and again picking it up, because not much of stock. So the flower that is already offered, they are picking it up and then keeping it. And again some another religious coming, they are giving the same flower to give it. Like that it is going on. And he is sitting and telling, well, I have come down from the Samadhi. Do you believe that? Immediately you will remind that Sri Ramakrishna said, it is not possible. Never ever possible that to succeed, the slightest degree of this should not be there. The pure mind is the same as the pure Atman. The pure mind and the pure Atman are the same. But such a mind must be altogether free from lust and gold. What is the purity? Again and again we talk about the purity. We go and bathe in the Ganga, the pure water. We go and drink the Ganga water. We do this, we do that, thinking that we are becoming pure. What is the ultimate? What is that purity actually? Sri Ramakrishna mentioned it, lust and gold. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava moha ashana moha papma viddinna iha bairinam. You should know these two is the real enemy for spiritual life. So we do not know, but at least after reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, one can get a very clear idea about spirituality. And one can then afterwards judge to what I am going to do. Shall I take the path of devotion, or the work, unselfish work, or meditation, or knowledge? Or all the four together I should practice. So that way it must be free from lust and gold. When it becomes pure, one has another experience. One realizes God alone is the doer, and I am his instrument. So after realization of God, what happens? No ego at all. Completely, because after the realization one can feel that it is only the God who is doing and no one else. When Swami Vivekananda, after the great trump over here, he returned back to India, even the great kings also was drawing his chariot, walking, and people, thousands of them, they were hailing Swami Vivekananda. He told, don't do that. If you want to really give joy, hail, give it to God. He has the power to make Vivekananda like me, Vivekananda, in thousands if he wishes. He has given me that opportunity, so I am doing. When Arjuna was not ready to fight and he was arguing with the God, Sri Krishna, then the Sri Krishna said, whatever you say, I have already done. Nimittu matra bhavasabhya sachin mayoi vaite nihata purvameva. I have completed all these things, that the war that you see is going to happen, it is already done. Everything is done. Only you become the nimitta. Just, I love you, I want that world will praise you for this. We are praising Vivekananda, but who was the power behind him? That is Sri Ramakrishna. So next day we will discuss about something that is Sri Ramakrishna is telling about the Unmana Samadhi, a completely new idea about the Samadhi. Let us now chant the Pranam Mantra. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Friends, our next retreat, the days are coming soon. That is July 28, 29 and 30, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Swami Ishatmananda is the head of the Vedanta Society of Singapore. He will be coming. He is a senior Swami. I think you all will like him. Please register and ask your friends to do the same. So when you register, then it becomes easy for our devotees to allot the rooms and beds. So otherwise, it is a little bit confusing when the last time if someone is coming. So obviously we do not know what to do. So please cooperate, register your name, and then when you go over there, you will find that it is already allotted. Thank you very much.